on him. Nobody else, nobody felt what he did up on the cross, and surely nobody will. Bearing sin up in his body, truly Jesus died for the body, so that you and I can be the righteousness of God himself. That's that truth promulgated on your playlist. Let me say it, it's the latest what I'm stating. He came down, what is the basis of the basin? Wash your feet with a basin, baby, I'm painting a picture so you see that his grace is truly amazing. Never changing, there's so much more in store. So when my faith get low, I'll be focusing on the Lord, on the cross. All he did, man, is bringing peace to my heart. So my eyes on him, but I'm saying this in the dark. Like my faith get low in my face, it just shows. On the statements, bold, I'ma say it because I know I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. He promised eternal life. Though some nights get bleak, there are days that get cold. I will rest in the wings of the Savior, cause I know I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. He promised eternal life. Now let me tell you this, beloved, nothing separating us from the love he has for those who are his when said and done. Nothing known upon the earth can end what he's begun. Transformed by the Spirit to live it in deeper slums. He made a beat and speaking low. Surest thing is a deeper show. Keep it low and speak it bold. Trust in him when it's speaking cold. Hating sin ever since he rose. Made you win, do you see the stones? They will roll, I will put my faith in him and not in a secret code. Cause men are liars and bias, tell them cause now you know. Trust in my emotion, promotion to see Messiah close. Embracing what is spoken and quoting the text that I would know that Christ be the surest. How I wish I was 5 years old and knew this facts. Now I do ain't looking back. Looking forward to the day of his return. Now look at that. It's a rap. Still in text. They can pray or ain't moving slack. Being strengthened by the Spirit. The same one who moved and act. At times my faith get low in my face. It just shows. On the statements bold, I'ma say it because I know I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. He promised eternal life. Though some nights get bleak, there are days that get cold. I will rest in the wings of the Savior cause I know I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. He promised eternal life. At times my faith get low in my face, it just shows. On the statements bold, I'ma say it because I know I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. He promised eternal life. Though some nights get bleak, there are days that get cold. I will rest in the wings of the Savior cause I know I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. I gotta show off in Christ. He promised eternal life.
Hey, top of the hour. That's how we welcome 2017. You know, this is the first show of the year. We have to send much apologies for starting the show a bit late, but you know, this is how we do it. 2017 first show of the year. I'm so excited about this year. But above all, welcome to Arise. This is What's Good Radio. They call me Vincent, the Inspiration Kid. And with me on the studio, I've got an amazing. When I say amazing, I mean amazing guests with me. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in a bit. But fading under, that was SO. Is a hip hop artist, and he'll be performing in Nairobi, Kenya, February 19th. Mark the dates. It's a gospel hip hop event called Verse 5. This is the Radical 5 edition and features best Nairobi artists including Recap, Kamlesh Kagaba, Stone Jiwe, and a Walipa DJs up in the lineup, so you can't afford to miss. The venue is at the CBD. The place to be is the August Memorial Park. But getting back to the show, I've got amazing guests with me. Remember, you can find us on Facebook at What's Good Live, at What's Good Networks. On Twitter, remember, it's at What's Good_live, at What's Good Net. On Instagram, WGLive.tv, also at What's Good Networks. And for that moment we've been waiting for, let our guests introduce themselves. How are you feeling?
Fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. My name is Neela Goshai, and I'm a member of a group called Progressive Americans in Kenya.
Okay.
I also work for Human Rights Watch. Okay. And I'm one of the coordinators of the Women's March on Nairobi.
We'll be talking much soon about that during this show. The second guest.
Hi, my name is Rita.
Okay.
I'm a co-founder of Her Voice, which means Health, Empowerment and Rights in Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. You've heard them. So, ladies, let's get to the elephant in the room, the Women's March. What's the Women's March?
Well, the Women's March is coming up this Saturday, January 21st.
Yep.
And it was inspired by the Women's March in Washington. That's also happening on the same day.
Yep.
And there are now about 370 sister marches that are happening all over the world.
Amazing.
These marches were initiated in response to the election of Donald Trump as U.S. president, which is something that many, many women, particularly progressive and feminist women, were concerned with. They were concerned with his potential impact on women's rights, not only in the U.S., but all around the world. And there was a feeling that women needed to get together, unite, stand up, and speak in one voice to say that we are not going to allow the U.S. government to roll back our rights. And women around the world are joining in the call and saying, yes, we also will not accept that our governments roll back our voices or our rights. So here in Kenya, a group of American and Kenyan women and some other international women as well have decided that we need to get together, march, and make our voices heard.
Wow. Let's just speak to Rita and her voice, like how you guys really coming on board with the march.
As she has explained, we are standing in solidarity. Anything which affects women, whether in the US, whether in Africa, the whole world affects. They are our sisters, so it affects us, and we are standing in solidarity. But we also have issues in Kenya which are mostly women rights and human rights. We are also want to take that opportunity to highlight those issues as we stand in solidarity with our sisters. Yes.
That's amazing. I want to quote something from the Women's March Global site. It says, organizers are keen to stress that Women's March Global, which is WMG, is not a U.S. election-specific protest per se, but a proactive international movement which has galvanized people to defend women's rights and those of others in response to the rising rhetoric of far-right populism around the world. Just would you care to explain that a bit?
Sure. We have seen in recent years that there has been a push of extreme right movements. This has mostly been in Europe, with some of the anti-immigrant rhetoric that's been happening, some of the very harsh policies towards Syrian refugees and other refugees that are arriving in Europe. We've now seen that this kind of far-right politics has also reached the U.S. with the election of someone who is or has promoted policies that are anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim, anti-Mexican, anti-woman, anti-LGBT. And there's a fear that around the world, leaders who stand against rights, particularly of vulnerable and marginalized groups, minority groups, are trying to seize control and stop the rise of popular movements, stop the rise of groups that have been oppressed, that have been trying to claim their rights in recent years. And so the women's marches are about fighting back and basically saying that those of us who have been historically oppressed, whether it's on the basis of gender, race, economic status, sexuality, disability, whatever it may be, we have made progress in recent years, and we are not going to accept this movement that is trying to counter the progress that we've made and that's trying to retain power in the hands of a wealthy, white, male elite. That's something that we're not going to accept. So the march is about all of that, not just about women's rights exclusively.
That's amazing. Remember, you can follow the conversation using the hashtag Arise and also hashtag Women's March NRB across all social media networks. And since we have amazing, unafraid women in this studio today, it's only right that we play a song that speaks about women who are not afraid. So this is Etana. The song is called I'm Not Afraid. Enjoy.
What the world has to offer, girl, what you doing, don't you see? What they have done to Bedouin and Marcus, Jesus and all of the prophets. But I'm not afraid, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid, no. If them a come, let them come, 'cause I'm protected by the Most High One. They don't mind when you fall behind and can't pay your bills on time. Prostituting or standing in a them government line. No, and they don't mind when you waste your time coming up with some stupid lines, influencing the youth, them to snort a line and take a line. And they don't mind when you're locked up in jail, can't get no bail, sentence for life. I can't see your youth and strive. No, they don't mind. But I'm not afraid. No, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. No, if them a come, let them come, 'cause I'm protected by the Most High One. Don't be foolish. Oh no. Hey, thinking they don't know your name. I see them coming after my soul, wanting to take control. Wanna give me locks, wanna give me bling, wanna give me all the material things. I hear them talking about what the world has to offer. Girl, what you doing? Don't you see what they have done to Bedouin and Marcus, Jesus and all of the prophets? But I'm not afraid. No, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. No, if them a come, let them come, 'cause I'm protected by the Most High One. They don't mind when you fall behind and can't pay your bills on time. Prostituting and standing in a them government line. No, and they don't mind when you waste your time coming up with some stupid lines, influencing the youth, them to snort a line and take a line. And they don't mind when you're locked up in jail, can't get no bail, sentence for life. I can't see your youth them strive. No, they don't mind. But I'm not afraid. No, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. No, if them a come, let them come, 'cause I'm protected by the Most High One.
Ritana, she's used the music to really fight for the girl child back in the Caribbean. She's a Jamaican artist and she's just been amazing. And yeah, in case you're joining us, this is Arise. My name is Vincent and I've got an amazing panel with me. Introduce yourself back again.
Neela from Progressive Americans in
Neela,
Kenya.
Yeah.
Rita from Her Voice, Kenya.
Yeah. So, just in case you're joining the debate, we've been speaking about the Women's March and we've just been highlighting what it really stands for and why it's a worldwide framework. But also, you know, with the march comes the questions of what's the vision, what's the value, what's the sentimental connection to this march.
Well, I think a march is a way to make your voice heard, first of all, to send a strong message.
Yeah.
We're hoping that that message is sent to politicians in Kenya, in the U.S., and around the world. And that's part of the value of having a worldwide march, that there's no ignoring it.
Yeah.
Politicians and others are not going to be able to sit back and say, we can trample women's rights and nobody is going to do anything. So it's essentially, in some ways, it's a warning, I would say, and particularly in response to the U.S. election and the election of a president who has not been supportive of women's rights and who has even promoted sexual violence against women. I would say it's a warning that women are united. We're not afraid, as the song was saying. We are loud. We are going to demand and insist and not compromise. So a march is a way to bring people together to articulate some of these demands. Here in Kenya, we've been having discussion with our Kenyan partners others, like Her Voice Kenya and others, about what the main demands are that we want to make in the Kenyan context. And I think Rita can talk more about that. In the U.S. context, women who are marching and men and children who are also marching are standing up for reproductive rights, reproductive health. They're standing up for an end to sexual assault, an end to rape culture, domestic violence, access to health care for women, but also to basic rights for all groups, including people of color in the U.S., religious minorities. And so a march allows women and men and children from different walks of life to come together, to talk to each other, understand each other's needs, and then support each other in advancing those interests.
So it's not just a women's thing, right? I've already mentioned men, kids also.
Exactly. It's for everybody. And the rights that are at stake are rights that are going to affect everybody. One of the slogans that I've seen circulating on Twitter and Facebook is "Stronger women make a stronger world."
That's true.
We know that women are the base of the family. And when women's rights are not respected, families suffer and communities suffer, economies suffer. And all of this needs to be kept in mind by our leaders.
So speaking about the Kenyan chapter in this march, Rita, can you just give us a perspective of the Kenyan view on this march?
Yeah, let me go back to last year during the 16 days of activism. We held a silent protest where we marched from Freedom Corner to Jivanji Garden. And the reason we were holding that silent protest, when we were doing that protest, we were quiet. When we reached Jivanji, we spoke. The message was break the silence. So we want to break the silence. There's violation of human rights and women's rights. As she's saying, it doesn't involve women alone, it involves men. So we want to pass a message. Number one, as women we stand together, the whole world.
That's true.
Yes. And secondly, we won't stand by. We are breaking the silence today on any violation of women's rights and human rights. We are saying no, and we are going to arise and say no to any violation of human rights. Yes.
I like that. We're going to arise. That's what the show is all about. It's all about arising. It's all about finding your inspiration and your motivation. But above all, we've seen the New York Times actually quotes that President-elect Donald Trump's views on Africa have, until now, been a mystery. But a series of questions from the Trump transition team to the State Department indicate an overall skepticism about the value of foreign aid and even about what Americans themselves view in terms of security interests and on the world's second largest continent. Why do you think so? Why do you think Trump's view on Africa still remains something people are still speculating about?
Well, I think Trump is someone who doesn't have a great deal of experience in foreign policy, and that particularly is the case in places such as Africa. I don't think Trump, in his life, doing big mega business deals and running shows like Celebrity Apprentice, ever had to think about Africa before. And so he's obviously still formulating his policy, if there's going to be any policy at all. Sometimes it seems that his policy is just going to be governed by a series of tweets, attacking people. But I think those of us who are living in Africa have reason to be concerned. It does seem that Trump and the people surrounding him don't know a great deal about Africa, and it's not clear that they care a great deal about Africa. I've read the list of questions that they submitted. They seem to be guided by the idea that the U.S. is pumping huge amounts of aid into Africa and that it's all being siphoned off by corrupt governments and it's all basically a waste of the American taxpayers' money. What most Americans don't realize, I've actually read that most Americans think that 25% of the U.S. budget goes to foreign aid, when in fact it's actually much closer to 1%. So Americans who may be struggling themselves in their own economic circumstances have this idea, which is false, that we're struggling because our government is giving all of our money to places like Africa, and the money is just being lost and wasted. And of course, that's actually not the case. And what is needed, particularly for groups like women, children, is for more foreign aid to come into places like Kenya, and to support the kinds of issues that Rita and her colleagues are working on every day, like ending domestic violence, ending sexual and gender-based violence against women in Africa. That's something that both the Obama administration and the Bush administration before him did invest in.
Mm-hmm.
They invested in support for women in Africa. They invested a lot of money in fighting HIV in Africa. And this list of questions from the Trump camp has even included things like, well, isn't PEPFAR, the Presidential Fund for HIV/AIDS, isn't PEPFAR just a massive entitlement? That's a waste of money and taking away from our security interests. If HIV is not a security issue, I don't know what is. Security means keeping people alive. And so my concern is that the Trump administration doesn't care at all about keeping people alive in Africa or elsewhere. And that's going to affect women, children, and other vulnerable groups massively.
Yeah. And I just want to pose a question to Rita, because she works on a local organization, but also in the sense that we've seen even fights from people in governments who fight local organizations that are funded basically by, let's say, foreign aid. Where do you feel we are as a continent in terms of local organizations that are trying to make a change, but they're still being fought by the same governments they are working under?
The main issue with Kenya is corruption. Every time you see government fighting something, it's because there's somebody somewhere who feels that organization should have talked to me instead of talking to her voice, and I should have been the one who is given the funds to do that work. But if you look around, most of the work is not being done by the government. Like right now, the Ministry of Gender, where is it? Every time we do an interview, we are asked, does the Ministry of Gender work with you? No, it's hard to reach them. Why is it hard to reach them? Let's not even go that far. The women rep, Nairobi, she, when we were ordering demos, she comes the last minute. You keep calling her. Why is it that it's so hard to reach to somebody who is representing women? So it's an issue of corruption. People feel like every time they have to do something, money has to be involved. It doesn't have to be involved. Let me go back to her voice was formed by the organizers of My Dress, My Choice. When we did that campaign, we had no money. We did it with zero amount of money. So it's not an issue of money, it's about passion. If you're passionate about something, you won't fight it. It doesn't matter if you're the person who is going to do it, if it's how it's going to, it's me, it doesn't matter. The end, it's what matters. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll be talking more with these amazing ladies, but as we continue on, one of the people who championed a lot for rights of people in Africa was one Miriam Makeba. And this song is called Aluta Continua, which was used as a wake-up call for the people of Mozambique when they were campaigning for their election. So let's listen to this tune. It's called Aluta Continua by Miriam Makeba. Enjoy.
My people, open your eyes and answer the call of the drum. Freely mo, freely mo, Samora Mashe, Samora Mashe, let's come. Maputo, Maputo, home of the brave, to those who have given their lives. Praises to thee, husbands and wives, all thy children shall reap what you've sown. This continent is a my brothers and sisters, stand up and sing. Eduardo Montani is not gone. Fredipo, your eternal flame has shown us the light of dawn. Mozambique, a luta continua, continua. In Zimbabwe, mama, a luta continua, continua. In Botswana, a luta continua, continua. In Zambia, a luta continua, continua. In Angola, a luta continua, continua. In Namibia, a luta continua, continua. In South Africa, a luta continua, continua.
Yeah, Aluta Continua, one of those songs that were really used to campaign for a lot of countries down in the south for their independence, including Mozambique, Zambia, even South Africa. This is Arise. My name is Vincent, as always, the Inspiration Kid, every Monday from 10 a.m. And with me are amazing, all the time. I usually say amazing guests all the time, every week, just amazing guests. And they're the first guests we have for this year, which is such a big blessing. I'll let them introduce themselves again.
Hi, Neela from Progressive Americans in Kenya.
Rita, Her Voice Society Kenya.
Yeah. Ladies, let's speak about the big march Saturday. Just give us a view about who is eligible to come, or what is the run-up of the events, what should guys come and expect, what should they bring along? Yeah.
The march is open to everybody, and we really hope that everybody will come out and participate.
Repeat that again.
The march is open to everyone,
yes.
And we're encouraging wide participation. And like I said before, that includes women, men, and children. This will be a family-friendly march.
Yep.
And we are meeting at Karura Forest at 10 a.m. And there will be an initial gathering of people. We've indicated on our Facebook event page, if you go to Facebook and look for Women's March on Nairobi.
Repeat that again.
Go to Facebook, look for Women's March on Nairobi.
It's an event page.
It's an event page. And you will find the march route, which is there. So it indicates, in case anybody shows up late, the path that we'll be taking through Karura Forest. So at 10 o'clock, we'll be mobilizing. We'll start marching at around 10:30.
Okay.
If people come a little bit late, they can join us on the path. We will be walking in the forest for about maybe 45 minutes to 1 hour. And then we'll come back to an area near part of Amani Gardens, near Lily Lake in Karura Forest. And we'll gather for a picnic and some speeches. and some musical entertainment and spoken word as well. So it's going to be not only a sort of political event that is about standing up for rights and making our voices heard, but it's also an event that's about solidarity, sisterhood, coming together and having a good time. So we hope people will stick around. We have some musicians performing. Lydia Dola has confirmed.
Amazing.
We're waiting for a few more confirmations. Someone is reading from a feminist book that was published recently in Kenya. So we're really excited about the entertainment as well.
That would be awesome. Also, as you're saying, why did you guys pick Karura? Is it just symbolic? Or
we picked Karura for a couple of reasons, and one is that it is very symbolic. I mean, one of the most powerful women in Kenyan history, one of the most influential women, Wangari Maathai, we can attribute saving Karura Forest, and it's a beautiful space. It's a green space. It's a space of nature. There's a time and a place for marching in the streets and stopping traffic and interrupting the flow of work. For this particular event, we wanted to be in a very positive, peaceful, green space and bring people together in that way. We want everyone not just to come out and make a point, but also to be enjoying themselves, having a good time. We want children to be comfortable. We want families to be comfortable. So this time we're in Karura, and as I was discussing with Rita on the way here, maybe next time we'll be in the streets.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But I want to put something also to Rita. Someone said bad things happen when good people choose not to act. Why should someone come out this Saturday?
I think that's among one of my mottos. Yes, bad things happen when good people stand by and just look. We always say at our voice, change begins with us. Don't wait for somebody else. Every time I see activists, we are doing something, somebody comes and comments and says, why don't you deal with the issues about somebody stole money? And I always tell them, why don't you do it? I'm a gender activist. I cannot be an activist for everything. If you feel that is making you mad, rise, do something about it. Don't wait for somebody else, because change starts with you. Yes, and this is our time. Yes, we have to stand strong and do something. So
all you Kenyans on Twitter, all you Kenyans on Facebook, all you social media activists, it's a time to come out. Move from your phones, move from your laptops. Come out on Saturday, come out and support. It's open, it's family, it's kids, it's gents, it's not just women. So all you men are saying is just gonna be for women. No, it's not just gonna be for women. It's gonna be everyone. It's a family event. It's a solidarity also. We're saying, we're standing with our sisters, we're showing them that, we're together with you. So come out on Saturday, 10 a.m., Karura Forest. You said you're using the Limuru side gate?
We are using the Limuru side gate, and there's an entrance to a place called Amani Gardens, which is near River Cafe. So we'll have signs posted there. So when you come in the Limuru side, you'll reach a T-junction, and there will be a sign indicating which space we'll be gathering in. So it shouldn't be difficult to find us.
What if someone is coming driving?
If someone is coming driving, they can park in the parking for River Cafe.
Okay.
And once you find us, we'll be gathered in a green space, like I said. We are selling T-shirts for the march. So about 80 people have already bought their T-shirts through M-Pesa. I think today is the last day to buy a T-shirt.
Just let them know how they can purchase the T-shirts via M-Pesa.
Yes. The way to get the T-shirts is, again, to go to the Facebook event. So just search on Facebook for Women's March on Nairobi. And there is a pinned post on that page indicating how to order a T-shirt in advance of the march. So you can order the T-shirt today. You M-Pesa the money to one of our colleagues. She's called Chelsea, and she will have the T-shirts for you on Saturday morning when you get there. If you can't come to the march and you still want a T-shirt, you can buy a T-shirt and arrange to pick it up from us at a later date. So we'll be there. We'll be distributing the T-shirts at the beginning. We'll be having some initial speeches before we kick off marching.
And that brings us to the segment that we like to call the Poetry Echo Chamber. And today we feature a poet by the name of Prince EA as a request from someone on Twitter. This is Prince EA, Why I'm Voting for Love.
My fellow Americans, I am not a politician. I am not one of those entertainers either, here to sing you a catchy song about my favorite candidate. Because unlike most people on TV these days, I ain't interested in who you're voting for. I am simply here to tell you that you have been tricked, fooled, bamboozled, hoodwinked, run amok, led astray by leaders who claim they are committed to unity, but truthfully seek division. See, while their smiles say peace, their eyes scream war, their words say fresh and new. But haven't we heard this song somewhere before? And so I come to you through your screen today with one question and one question only. How long? How long will we look for leaders to save us? Somebody's got to save this. How long will we believe that the next leader's going to be better than the last one and fix everything? How long until we see the truth up close? That our politicians don't see people. They see votes. How long until we see that the media's first priority is ratings? Second is their investors, and coming in at third is the truth. How much proof will it take before we wake from this dream and see that the answer to our problems are not outside of us, nor inside of us? The answer has always been and will always be us. Do you know what the most translated phrase in any language is? See, many would have you believe that it is my country's better than yours, or my race is better than yours, or I'm right, you're wrong. But no, it is I love you. Yep, love. This four-letter word that explains exactly who we are before we were misled with ideas of who they told us we were. Love is our natural state, so coming back to that is the answer to every problem we face. Love may not be on the ballot, but it's in the race, and that is who I endorse. Anyone who does not believe that love is the answer has yet to experience the strength of this great force. In 1967, two little-known heroes named Mildred and Richard Loving fought a battle for their love, and love won. These two average people rewrote the laws of this country single-handedly. And today, people of different races can get married and start families. See, humanity is filled with examples like these. But this is the one I mentioned because it expresses that you don't have to be president or a politician to make a difference. A tiny stone thrown in a pond can create tremendous ripples. And today, we need more ripples than ever before. Can we really afford any more business as usual? Haven't we had enough of the love of power? Let us now try the power of love. This election, every day, every moment of your life, vote love. Vote loving. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on
every election, every time, vote love. And more than ever, we need more ripples, because that one stone can really cause a ripple. That's why we are saying this coming Saturday for the women's march. We need more ripples. So get off your sofas, get off your phones, get off your computers. Come out and support this great initiative. My name is Vincent, as always, the Inspiration Kid, on a Monday, bringing you that motivation, inspiration vibe. And this is Arise. And with me on the studio are amazing guests. I'll let them introduce themselves again.
My name is Neela from Progressive Americans in Kenya.
Yeah.
Rita, Harvey Society, Kenya.
Yeah. So guys, as we come to a close, what are your parting shots?
Well, I think that spoken word piece that you just played was really inspiring. And ultimately, in some ways, it is about love. And one of the reasons I think that women are marching around the world is that we are really tired of politics that is so hate-filled. Yeah. And this is something that we saw a lot in the last U.S. election. And, of course, we all know how much we've seen hate in Kenyan elections as well. Yeah. We want leaders who are promoting not just unity for unity's sake, right? Because we can't just unify around vague and amorphous things, but unity that really means respect for each individual, regardless of who they are, regardless of their gender, their race, their sexual orientation, their disability, their religion. we need to unify and we need to show some love for each other's basic humanity. And so we reject hate-filled politics, and we reject politics that is about insulting people. You know, one of the things we saw in the U.S. election was a candidate, unfortunately a winning candidate, who insulted women based on their appearance in the course of a political campaign. That's astonishing and atrocious. That's not the way that politics needs to go. And so I think the people need to take the higher ground and tell the leaders, we are not accepting this petty politics of insults and attacks and tweets attacking people. We want to see policies that benefit the people on the ground, and everybody, regardless of who they are.
To add on that, this is our election.
Yeah, 27.
We need to learn a lot, especially from the U.S. elections. Yeah. Now, the same thing has happened in Kenya over and over again. This has got to end. Something has got to give. We can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. Yeah. We need to vote people, not on... This has been said so many times. It's infuriating because we need to stop it. Yeah. Don't vote on tribal line. Yeah. Don't vote somebody because he's from your party. Even if you're supporting that party, you're not voting the party. Yeah. You're voting the person, a leader. Yeah. So if his policies don't resonate with you, don't vote that person in. Yeah. Do not vote somebody because you want to retain the so-called kingship. I don't understand what the hell is that. You need to vote somebody because this person will bring change, and not change the political change where people stand and say, promise you heaven and earth. No, real change. Yeah. We need to, for me, I feel this is the time as Kenyans, we need to speak something and do something totally different from the norm. Yeah. You know, I was telling her, most of the time, when you vote somebody else, except the two people who are always in the same presidential race, you're told you've thrown your vote. Yeah. But I would rather throw my vote, per se, in quotes, as you say, than vote somebody because of my tribe or somebody who has been there for years and brought no change. So let's do something. Let's bring a change. Today at KICC, they are doing the campaign for people to register as voters.
Yeah, the voter registration begins today all over the country.
All over the country. Yeah. I know most of the youth feel like this government does not speak to them.
That's the one thing I wanted to pose to you, because I've been speaking to so many young people, and they're like, "There's no, I'm not taking any vote. I'm not taking my voter's card. I'm not gonna vote this election. I don't feel like so many urban people who live in the urban areas have been like, there's no, I'm voting this election."
Yes.
What would you advise?
I would advise, it's your number one, voting is your constitutional right. And with that vote, the person who owns that vote has power. Yeah. You are the one, your vote might be the deciding vote. And let me tell you one thing, change does not come easy. Yeah. Don't give up. It's too early to give up. Yeah. Go and take that vote. Yeah. Vote wisely. Yeah. Then you won't feel bad about it. At least you'll say, I contributed something towards the change. Yeah. And even if change does not happen today, one day it's going to happen. I always tell people, lose everything but never lose hope. Yes.
Change is a must. Progress is a must. As I always say on this show, like, progress is a must, and whether or not we like to believe it, change must always come. But also, as we are speaking, I want to give you guys an opportunity. For guys, maybe someone is listening and saying, how can I get in touch with your organization? How can I find out more about what your organization does in Kenya or all over Africa or even around the world? How can guys really get in touch with you guys?
Most of our voice work, we are virtual. Yeah. We don't have an office. We work online. If you go to Facebook and search for Her Voice, you will see us. And how Her Voice works is, if people see something, they tag us on Facebook. And then we reach out to that person. Over the years, most of the people have known we are on Facebook, it's easier to reach us that way. If you go to our Facebook page, you inbox us, or you just look for our numbers, you'll get us. Okay. Yes, because it's easier. We've used social media to create a positive change in society.
Yes, at least someone is getting the power of social media here.
Yes, and that's why we have Facebook did a feature on Her Voice is among the people who've used social media to create a positive change in society.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes.
And for those who want to reach us to find out more about the Women's March, I've already mentioned the event page on Facebook, Women's March on Nairobi. You can just post on that page, and one of us among the organizers will get back to you. You can also email us at womensmarchnrb@gmail.com. That way you'll reach a group of the organizers. You can also find us on Twitter. We don't have a Twitter account for the march as of yet, but we're using the hashtag Women's March NRB as well. So if you tweet using that hashtag, we'll also be checking regularly, and we'll follow up and respond to those tweets. If anyone listening is American and would like to get involved with the group that I work with, Progressive Americans in Kenya, you can also find us on Facebook.
Just in short, what does Progressive Americans in Kenya really is all about?
Well, Progressive Americans in Kenya is a new group. It's an informal network at this point that just formed following the elections. We realized that there are many Americans who've been living here for a number of years. Some of us had become a bit disengaged with U.S. politics. Maybe we voted. Some people didn't vote. We're all entitled to vote absentee from a distance. But a number of people maybe weren't following things as closely as they would like. And seeing that change was happening in the U.S. in a direction that we were very concerned by, we felt that the fact that we live across the ocean from our home country doesn't give us an excuse to stand back and ignore what's happening there and be quiet and put our heads down. Instead, we need to fight back. It's funny, after the election happened, you found a number of people who were saying they wanted to leave the U.S. They wanted to move to Canada, they wanted to move to Europe or wherever. And for others, I think we felt no. In fact, myself personally, I'm staying in Kenya, but some people felt the motivation to go back and get involved because somebody has to fight back. So that's what Progressive Americans in Kenya is about, finding ways from Kenya to push U.S. policy in the right direction instead of the wrong direction, and to work with Kenyans as well about areas where we have common interests.
Amazing. So the next song coming up is Yemi Alade and Sauti Sol. The song is called Africa. And we are progressive Africans, I believe so. So enjoy this song.
Like
umekuja kutake chance, hakuna mataka kama umekuja kulipa kupiga dance hapo ulipo kata kiu. Anywhere you go, London, USA, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home.
Bingo eruya wayo, wayaka, karibu kiti, utapewa nini? Eruya wayo, wayaka, karibu kiti, utapewa nini? It's an African one. Neela, soldier come, soldier go. Your home now your home, irreplaceable. Anywhere you go, London, USA, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Bingo eruya wayo, wayaka, karibu kiti, utapewa nini? Eruya wayo, wayaka, karibu kiti, utapewa nini? Lele. Africa, Africa,
Yeah, fading off. That's Yemi Alade featuring Sauti Soul. The song is called Africa, and yeah, nowhere be like Africa. As we close, I just wanna make sure everyone really marks the dates and remembers. With me on the in studio are Neela and Rita, and they're behind one of a big campaign going down this Saturday. So just remind guys about the event as we close.
So it's the Women's March in Nairobi, happening in solidarity with the Women's March in Washington and with women's marches around the world.
Okay.
At the moment, one of only 3 marches that are taking place in Africa on that date. There are 370 around the world, but we were the first group to organize a march in Africa here in Nairobi, and now we hear that there are going to be marches in Ghana and Nigeria as well. So that's great.
Amazing.
So we would love to have everybody in Nairobi come out, whether you're a Kenyan, whether you're American, whether you're from any other country, any other place in the world, and you want to speak out on behalf of women's rights and also on behalf of all marginalized people, all oppressed people who are no longer willing to stay quiet and sit down with their heads down. We're going to be marching. We're going to be enjoying a beautiful Saturday at Karura Forest, Limuru Gate entrance, this Saturday at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. This is what I'm going to ask you to do. If you're on social media, just go and look for the hashtag Women's March NRB, and do me a favor. If you care, tag a friend. Just tag a friend along. Just tell them, you know what, forget everything you're doing this Saturday. Let's tag along to this amazing event. Rita, anything you want to share?
I want to add to what Neela had said before.
Yeah.
In Kenya, when most of us say women, the men tend to take a back seat.
Yeah.
So, as Neela said, this is a match for everybody, and most of the time we preach positive masculinity.
Yeah.
So every time we see men come on board and support women, we are so happy.
Yeah.
So we are welcoming all the men. Come and join women. Let's stand together. Positive masculinity.
Yes, all the men, it's time to roar now.
Yeah.
That will be at Karura. So also remember, mark your dates. February 19th, the song playing on the background, that's About Life by Verse 5. So the event is Verse 5 there. It's the Radical 5 going down at August Memorial Park in town. Advance tickets are going for 200 bob on the Kenya Bars website, so make sure you get your advance tickets. And just come out February 19th, mark the dates, and we're gonna have a good time. And as we come to a close, I want to play a song that I really love. The artist is called Trisha. She's a Kenyan artist, but she's based in Germany, and this song is called I'm a Lion. Have a good day. Have an amazing day for the rest of the week. Till we meet again on Monday. This is The Rise. I've been your host. My name is Vincent, the Inspiration Kid. And with me on the studio we had
Neela,
Rita,
and Rita. Have a good day.